Hi, I'm Matthew Sargent with ABC Acres. I'm out here today with our Coop 1 flock, and we're here to talk about chickens and compost and our experience with using the chickens to help with the composting process and the composting process to help feed our chickens. Yeah. So if you Google or spend some time on YouTube, you'll find a lot of different videos, and that's kind of what inspired us. There are a lot of people out there that are claiming that they're raising their chickens on just compost alone. And, you know, I'm not saying that they're wrong. I actually firmly believe that we could get there. As of yet, we haven't figured out that magical formula of varying stages of compost. And the ingredients in the compost and keeping the hens happy. However, I can tell you, in a little bit I'll pan around, we have essentially two piles that are approximately 2.5 weeks old now. The chickens have been helping us out a lot. They're keeping the piles hot, they're keeping the piles active, and our feed bill has gone down by more than half. They were getting essentially 14 scoops a day, 7 in the morning, 7 at night. We're down to 3 in the morning and 3 in the afternoon. So that in and of itself is a significant cost savings. And this is a lot of compost. I don't want to estimate the tonnage, but it's probably 35 buckets with our tractor. I'd wager our tractor holds 2 tons of buckets, so that's, 70 tons of compost. We're lucky we get free yard waste from a neighboring lawn company who is very good about screening out. They only bring us material from yards that don't use a lot of synthetic chemicals, pesticides, and herbicides. And we had a lot of this material building up. It's been my experience that if you live somewhere where you have rhizomatous grasses, and from what I can gather, most of North America has rhizomatic grasses, you really have to hot compost. If you have a cold compost pile, yeah, you can end up with a great product, but that's if you manage to keep those rhizomatous grasses from making a home of your cold compost pile. And from what I've seen, grasses like cheatgrass, which we have predominantly here, or if you're in the southern parts of the country where Johnson grass is taking over, if you're cold composting, you're just getting up with a giant pile of cheatgrass or Johnson grass rhizomes, and most people would be pretty upset if you tried applying that anywhere near anything resembling a garden. So the downside to a thermophilic or a hot compost is, especially when it's this much, is I'd be out here every other to every third day with the tractor just burning diesel and turning compost. With the hens out here digging through it, we essentially have 2 piles. It kind of looked like a half pipe. As they scratch, they come in and fill up this. I'll show you the backside of that pile in a second. And they kind of spread everything out, and about every once a week I'll come in and pile everything back up to get the heat going again. But I can't even really, I get my hand in there. I'm not quite to the center. Definitely doesn't feel good though. It's hot. So, they're keeping it loose enough. They're keeping things mixed up. Surprisingly, we actually had rain last week, so things are nice and moist, but they're facilitating the composting process, keeping me out of the tractor, or minimizing my time in the tractor and minimizing their food. So even though we are not 100% grain feed because of the compost, we're doing better because of the chickens and compost. As always, if you have any questions or comments, we love to hear from you, and we'll see you next week. Thanks.